Hello everyone, good morning. Right, so today I want to talk about this MCU Recall that Tesla is doing. And also I'm going to try and do a 50-mile cycle, which is going to be tricky because I don't really have very much time. And I'm going to use tin foil on my feet, which sounds completely mad, but apparently it might stop me from freezing to death. My feet were so numb when I came back last time. So I am willing to try anything, including this. If this is actually comfortable and survivable, I'll just be amazed. Wow, it's a bit tight in there though. Okay, all right, that's one shoe done, I guess. Look, at least I'm not putting the tin foil on my head. I have to rush a little bit because I'm picking Jasper up. It means I've only got a limited amount of time. And 50 miles is, you know, only got about 3 hours to do it, so I can't hang about too much. Let's go. Not warm out here. I can already tell you, wrapping tin foil around the feet definitely helps. Granted, I've only done 2.5 miles, but they were freezing by this point last time I went out. Well, I'm almost done, both in terms of distance and in terms of energy. Oh my word. Yeah. Haven't got around to the whole Tesla UMC thing yet, so I guess that's going to have to be a once I get home kind of job, because well, that was hard. Oh my word. But I made it 50 miles. How the hell I'm ever going to do twice that in a sensible time, I've no idea. Right, so I had to go get Jasper from school, obviously, but I'm now sitting in my car, again, obviously. So I thought I'd just quickly go into what the MCU is, for anyone that doesn't know. It's the big central screen that controls basically everything that's not directly driving related. So you can still drive the car if it's not working, but you can't change the climate control, or, you know, I think the indicators might even stop working, and it doesn't defog, obviously. So Tesla have created a software update, which means that if your MCU was to go kaput, the car would still run the climate at a sort of average temperature, and the indicators would still work, and the rear view camera would still work. So that's quite a good sort of little safety related update, but of course that's not fixing the problem, is it? So what they've done, and this is I think primarily prompted by the I always get this wrong, NTHSA, is that right? From the 30th of March, Tesla is planning on starting to replace the chip that's failing inside the MCU. This is an eMMC multimedia card, embedded multimedia card chip. Basically, it's an 8 gig chip that holds all of the storage for the MCU, which is called a media control unit. Oh, acronyms. And now I have to go get Jasper, so we'll just pick this up when I get home. Okay, I've just realised I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying, because it wasn't the next day, it was actually after the weekend. So the MCUs in question, it's not all of the cars, it's not Model 3, it's not Model Y, and it's not any Model S or X's that were made after March 2018. But from the cars before that, they had this 8 gig chip on there, which, as the demands of the operating system have got, you know, greater and greater over time, it's been put under more and more strain. Partly, I think, also because of logging on the autopilot cars from before 2018. So yeah, it's caused that problem with the chip wearing out, and some owners have been sort of, how do I put this, asking Tesla if they were going to do something about this or not. And Tesla has decided now that it's come time that they do have to do something, hence the recall. This eMMC chip has, like all multimedia cards of memory, flash memory storage, has got a limited number of writes that it can do. Something like, I think, 10,000, but of course what happens is as bits of the chip wear out, it uses free available extra space on other bits of the chip to make up for that. Now the solution that Tesla have come up with here is to replace the 8 gig chip with a 64 gigabyte chip, which should be more than enough size for the lifetime of the car, I have no doubt. So although I haven't personally had any problems with my MCU that couldn't be fixed with restarting it using the sort of hold down the two scroll wheels with your thumbs for a few seconds and then the screen goes blank and it reboots, and that generally has fixed any issues that I've had with Bluetooth connectivity or the screen freezing and not being responsive, that sort of thing. However, I was aware that this was an issue because of Mark. Thanks, Mark. You gave me a good heads up there. Exactly how this recall will affect owners that have already had their 8 gig chip replaced by a third party, I have no idea. In terms of people that have paid to have the MCU fixed and possibly upgraded as well, because some of the cars, some of the newer ones, sort of 2017 Model S's and X's for example, they could actually upgrade to the next version of the MCU, which I believe runs on an Intel Atom, whereas the one that I'm on is, I think it's got an I can't say that right. I think it's got an NVIDIA chip in it. Either way, the new one is much more powerful. It allows you to play the games and watch Netflix and that sort of thing, none of which I can do in my classic Tesla, and I can't get the upgrade. Now, the thing is, Tesla have said that they will give refunds or partial refunds to people who have bought those, paid for that fixed themselves so far, or have upgraded because they were worried about the previous MCU running out of memory and dying on the middle of a road trip or something. So yeah, I'm pleased to see that Tesla are doing something about this. It reminds me a little bit of the door handle debacle, actually, because that was another one of those things where initially Tesla were like, well, if you're out of warranty and your door handles don't work, what can we do? And then they sort of went, actually, everyone's having this problem, so what we'll do is we'll extend the warranty on door handles up to 100,000 miles or 8 years, I think it was. And for the vast majority of people, that meant that their door handles would be sorted out free of charge by Tesla. And this is a sort of a similar thing, although perhaps slightly more safety related, in that of course it does affect the capabilities of the car. I would like to give Tesla full credit for actually sort of deciding to do this recall, but I can't really, because they have sort of been pressured into it by the fact that it's becoming more and more of an issue for older cars, which of course are still on the road after, my car is 6.5 years old. There's absolutely no reason it shouldn't be on the road. And Tesla knows this, and so do various regulatory agencies around the world, which means that ultimately it was a problem that was going to need to be fixed. And luckily, Tesla have, to their credit, decided to step up and get it sorted for customers with, hopefully, touch wood, a minimum of disruption. So yeah, anyway, all being sorted, and I'll let you know when my car goes in to get its MCU fixed and sorted, and I'll let you know how that goes. Hopefully it will be a smooth update that won't take too long. There is actually, if you go to the Tesla website, there's a VIN checker where you can pop your VIN in and it will say whether your car is going to be affected or not. But by now you should have received an email that explains the situation, from Tesla of course, if you have one of the affected vehicles. I've received my email and it was very illuminating. Tesla have asked their customers not to pre-book in advance to get their cars sorted out. You don't need to make a service appointment through the app or anything like that. If you have an affected car, once they've got the parts in and they've got a slot for you, they'll get in contact and say, right, let's get your car in. What time suits you? I believe that's how it's going to work. So for now, unless you have a car where the screen has gone black and doesn't respond anymore, or if a warning message comes up saying that there's a problem with the onboard storage, if either of those two things happen, then get in contact with Tesla and they will prioritize getting your car sorted, because obviously it's, possibly not drivable, not properly drivable, not properly functioning. So yeah, other than that though, you can just sort of sit back and take it on faith that Tesla are going to see you right in the short term. Okay. I'm going to call today's vlog post to a close now. I hope you've all enjoyed it and found it interesting and entertaining. If you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you don't already. I want to say a massive thank you to my patrons because you guys are awesome, and I will see you all in the next episode of my vlog. Bye. This channel is definitely not going to be fully moving away from EVs, but right at this exact point in time, there is definitely more of a cycling slant, because that's what gets me motivated and interested, and I'm particularly enjoying the exercise that I've been able to do in the lockdown. I mean, why somebody would want to buy a new car right now, I have no idea. And cycling is awesome and really good fun. Anyway, it's getting to spring soon, so boom. But yeah, it's not going to be a full cycling channel. I mean, my channel has never really been about any one particular thing. It's always been a mishmash of stuff, hasn't it? I mean, that's what I like about it. That's what keeps it interesting for me, and hopefully it keeps it interesting for you guys too.